is, how did you get started in media?
Well, honestly, my first taste of media reporting was when I went to college. I went to Spelman College in Atlanta, Georgia, and I had a great experience there. I was English major. They didn't really have communication in Atlanta. It's a liberal arts school, so they had English as a major, and that was probably one of the closest class that I got to actual, learning the whole thing of journalism. But my real experience started when I worked/interned for WSB TV, which is in Atlanta. This is Channel 7 news station, and I was a sports reporter. I'm a big, I would say sports fan, but more so like basketball fan. I love watching that whole thing. I mean, that to me is exciting. But I had the opportunity to interview athletes, go in the locker room, do stuff like that, and
nice.
I really got a taste of reporting, interviewing people, and being in that whole entertainment outlet, which to me was exciting. And then I moved forward after I graduated there, not really knowing what to do. We're all kind of like, okay, do I get a job? I mean, what's the next step? So for me, it was like, well, I really want to achieve something higher in my life, so I wanted to get my master's, and I went to NYU, and I was in the journalism program for a year and a half. I completed that, and that's where I really got the taste. I was in New York, obviously, MTV intern, VH1. I made some money doing stuff here and there, Newsday, and that's kind of where I got my foot in the door in the sense of just experience-wise. But it really didn't get the full-on extent until after I graduated and I had to get a real job. Because to me, it's like you have great connections, but if you don't know how to apply them, and if you don't really have certain I guess you can say background experience, it's not going to necessarily give you that job that you want, that you're seeking. So I started off part-time. I was actually at ABC Daytime as a youth marketing consultant, which basically all I did was watch TV and give them reports. So we got to go to the...
Fun.
It does. It really was. I loved the job, but it was only for a period of time. It was for 3 months. They wanted to bring me back on, which would have been great, but the problem was that around the same time, I kind of was starting to feel the passion of radio, which has always been something that I think I really wanted to do, but never really had it come into fruition at that time. And I had an opportunity to do something part-time at Hot 97. So I was like, you know what, I got to pick up on this part-time thing, even though a full-time opportunity would be great, with ABC Daytime. But I don't know what it would have been because I didn't really, follow up with it. So I did the part-time at Hot 97, and then I also had the opportunity to do some teaching for journalism and media arts and stuff. So I did that. I created a program to teach kids at Police Athletic League.
Okay.
And then I later moved to Harlem Children's Zone doing that program, which was kind of like my main salary, quote unquote. And then at the same time, I was doing part-time at Hot 97. So that's kind of when it started to come together. Okay, I really love this element. I don't like essentially what I was doing there, but I got the background experience, so I did a little bit of programming with the boards, and then that led to me getting an independent show in Brooklyn. I wasn't paid for it, but it was just for me to be, doing my radio thing, and then that's where I am today. Well, not where I am today, but then I moved forward, and what I'm doing today is kind of like how everything kind of came together. Right.
Good. The business can be rough with the entertainment industry. Has there ever been a point where you wanted to walk away?
Yeah. I think there's been some times where I said, maybe I should have stayed in Atlanta, got married, had some kids, just done the very 9-to-5-ish thing. But I think that every day and every year or however long a period of time, when I reflect back and I see where I was and see where I am today, it keeps me motivated. If you're not making any moves or any, progression forward, yeah, definitely that may be something to reflect on, but I feel like I've been continually making moves forward, and when you are, it's like, okay, so do I let up on all the things that I've achieved thus far, or do I say, hey, I'm in it, people have recognized my brand, my name, and that's a great claim to fame. So I'm like, okay, yeah, it's rough a lot of times, partly because of the politics or whatever you want to call it, but I've learned, I think, kind of really getting, especially at Hot 97, because at any major company, you're going to have politics, that you have to have tough skin, and sometimes you can't be concerned about what people are thinking about you. If you can let that go, you can get really far, because you can start focusing on what your focus is and what your goals are.
sometimes within the industry, people compromise like their values and beliefs. Have you ever been in a situation where people wanted you to compromise, and how did you like deal with that?
Yes. It's funny. I keep it pretty real, so it's, I'm not gonna be like, oh, well, I can't talk about that. Whatever. No. You know what? I think that. Well, I'll just say what it is. I feel, and this is just my opinion, that a lot of the major corporations are looking for certain things. They're looking for certain cookie-cutter things. And while I may fit into a certain realm, they would want me to do something. Like, really what's popular that I see, and power to people who are doing it and feel comfortable doing it, but a real big thing that I've noticed within radio has been like this whole sex talk thing, and like, so how did he do that? And it's with women. I don't really see a lot of men doing it, but that's just not my thing. If a woman wants to do that, that's fine. I mean, if she feels comfortable, if that's how she was brought up or how she feels she needs to be in the game, hey, do whatever you did. I have no beef with you on that. But that was never my thing, and opportunities that have come up that have been on a great platform have wanted me to kind of go that route, which to me is not what I'm about. If you look at what I do as a journalist, keyword journalist, it's about researching, reporting, getting to the nitty-gritty, kind of finding background information. I'm not the best, and I'm not the greatest, but I make stuff happen, and I'm really serious about what I do, and I call a spade a spade. If I see something that's not right, I'm gonna bring it up. A lot of artists think I'm tough. I mean, a lot of artists get emotional. I mean, a lot of artists confess things they probably shouldn't say, but at the end of the day, they respect me still, and nobody really wants to deal with me on my bad side. It's not that I'm a hard person, but it's just that I'm a real person. I'm gonna bring the facts up. I'm gonna line it up straight. So yeah, I mean, there's been many instances when I felt like they wanted me to conform to what they thought was popular, but I think the best thing in this industry is to be true to yourself, because if you are, and if you stand up for what you feel is right, then I feel like you'll be able to get farther. That genuineness is such a rarity, and people latch into that. I think that's why people even deal with me. I mean, I don't have a team behind me. There's no 10, 15 people behind me. There's no entourage. It's just me, which can be a pro and a con. The pro is that all the money that I make goes to me, my company. The con is that, I have to do everything literally. I mean, there's people here and there that help set up certain things, but there's been nobody really like a staple that I can say is on my staff, There's people who help and people who want to contribute, and I appreciate them to the utmost, but I think that it surprises me that many people feel like, oh, she has a team. Oh, who does this? Oh, girl, can I do this? All right. But when they realize that I'm serious, it's all me, they're like, oh, wow, okay. They don't know how to take that. It's like, how did you even get here then, Because most people, they have a crazy platform. And I've been on platforms. I've been on Sirius before. I've had to do a show with the DJ on there. I've been at Hot. I've been in all these different things. But I think at the end of the day, it was more so me saying, you know what, I want my brand, Miss Drama Entertainment, Miss Drama TV, to be bigger than whatever company wants to attach me to them. Just like how Oprah and Wendy Williams, no matter where they go, their brand will be known versus the company. Clear Channel, MS, ABC, NBC, it's still Oprah, it's still Wendy, and those are the people that stick out to me. So.